Follow the channel and stay tuned for learning videos.
Today we are going to see what do you mean by ribbon workbench, what do you mean by ribbon, what it will do, why we will mean it like that, okay? And what is modern command designer? That is nothing but a replacement for ribbon workbench. So let me go to CRM. So if you see CRM, by default for any entity, you are having some fields like focused view, like show chart. These are buttons, right? If you see, this is kind of a view. So if for here you are showing like this, here you have some button. This is one button. This is one button. This is one. So by default for every entity, you will have some buttons. These we will call as a out of the box buttons. So similarly, this is the view, right? Similarly for the form also, you will have some buttons for every entity. Save and close, new, deactivate. If you open country also, you could see the same, right? Like this, same buttons, almost save and close. So by default, we will have these buttons. So we will be using for save operations, creating new record, deactivate. So these buttons we will call as a out of the box buttons. Out of the box buttons means which are coming by default, which are available for every entity. Okay. Suppose if you want some custom button, so if you want some appro button here, or if you want to have some button which will call another endpoint or another API. Okay. So that time what we will do, we will create our own button and we will add our logic there. Okay. So see in the CRM, button means it's nothing but a ribbon. So to support this ribbon button development, we will be using the ribbon workbench. Okay. So if you search normally in Google, ribbon dynamic 365. So you will be getting a number of. So you have to use this one, ribbon workbench dynamics. This is the official one, developed one. So ribbon workbench has been standard editing dynamics ribbon since 2011 with the release of new and silver red version customizing. So and so. So it's asked for download. So it will ask you to give your details. So the ribbon tool, whatever the tool I'm saying, right, to edit the buttons, everything. So this ribbon workbench, this will come to your email. So for that one, you have to give your alias. Okay, here I'm giving level. I'm giving my email. Version, what is the latest version? So these are the older version. So right now we are in the Dynamics 365, right? So you have to choose this one now. So it will send an email basically. Let's go back and send it. Download the ribbon workbench now. So it might send an email. So let me go to my email. We have it in the spam. Let me check. Let me try it again. No, not sure. So if you download here, you are getting an email as well. Sorry, you are getting download here only. Ribbon Workbench zip. So this is typically a managed solution. Okay. So if you see here you could see this is kind of a zip folder, which is nothing but a solution. It will have plugin assemblies, web resource, everything. it will have solution also. This is typically a CRM solution, manager solution. So to have this ribbon workbench in our environment, we have to install it. Okay. So for that purpose, what I will do, I will import to my environment. So once you import this tool, you will get a additional tool actually. So it is importing right now. Meanwhile, what I will do, I will just open the classic settings. Let it import. So basically, why do we install Ribbon Workbench? So whenever you want to create your own button, so we will be using this Ribbon Workbench. So for that, we have to download from this site. We have to import that solution to here. Then we will add our entity to the one custom solution. Then we will edit the buttons. We will add the buttons, everything we will do. Okay. No, 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 no. Let it done. Meanwhile, this is the classic editor for CRM Advanced Find. Okay. Right, let me click on Power Platform Advanced Settings. So if you go here, you will have one settings. So Ribbon Workbench is installed successfully. Okay. If you do refresh this one, so this is if you go to managed one, you could see the installed. This will be available Ribbon Workbench. Now if you see what I want to do, I want to create a custom button, right? So for that button, what I have to do, I have to go to my solution. So in this, it won't available in the make.power app. So I'm switching to classic. So from the classic, we will try to go there. Or if you see here, here also we have advanced settings. You can use this as well. This is opening from here only. Let it load. Now if you see, this is a classic view. Okay. So what I need, I want to use Ribbon Workbench, right? So for that purpose, what I have to do, I need a classic setting URL. So let me ask project construct a classic setting URL.
After the tab, ASPX is there, right?
Sorry.
URL, ASPX question mark, LET URL.
Yeah, here only you will put right. You're right.
Yes, yes.
But I don't want to try. I just want to use only.
Okay.
So this will be the main.aspx settings. So if you put like this, it will leave it alone. So I'm just using this. Now if you see, this is like this. Then I'm going, if I go to solutions, I could see this ribbon workbench. If you go to any other environment, suppose we have prod and test, right? So if you go there, it won't appear further. Why? Because we haven't installed this ribbon workbench in that environment. Okay. So when you installed only, you can get this option. So whenever you open this one, it will ask you to choose the solution. Okay, so you have to choose the solution where you have the entity. Suppose I have to modify this country. I want to create a custom button on this country table. So this country table should be added somewhere in this solution. Then you have to select that one. So for we have created JS debugging, right? For those, let's select this. So let's see what it will say. For performance reason, the solution cannot be loaded. The solution contains entities that have all other some components included. So what does that mean? So in this my solution, I have everything, right? I have forms, I have model-driven app, everything. So the best practice is like you should have only entity. You shouldn't have anything else. Plain entity only should have. So a ribbon country ribbon solution. So I'm just creating a solution for a country. So ribbon solution. So where I will keep only plain entity. I didn't add any fields. I didn't add any forms like that. Using this table country. So while adding it, you shouldn't include any all objects. Just add a plain entity. Okay. Now if you see this is the test. If you go to solution, here you won't have any ribbon workbench because you didn't install the ribbon workbench in this environment. So this will be like environment specific. Wherever you want, you have to install it. Okay. Now let me reload. Let me research it. So I am just country ribbon, right? So I'm just adding it. Now it is loading because I just added only plain entity without any forms, without any fields like that. So wherever you want to add that should be in a solution in which it should have only plain entity. It shouldn't have any components. Okay. Now if you see here it is showing the country, right? And you could see home, you could see subgrid, you could see farm. So what do you mean by home? What do you mean by subgrid? What do you mean by farm? So for any table, by default, we will have this page, right? Like whenever you click on the sitemap, it will load, right? So that is nothing but a home page for that entity. So suppose if you want to create any button here, you will be using this, you will be adding the button here in this place. Okay. Suppose you have added this entity as a subgrid in another table. There you want to add any button. So that time you will be using this subgrid section. So you will be creating button in this subgrid section. And the next one is form. So form is nothing but whenever you open a record, it will be appearing here, right? So this is the place where you want when you want to apply the when you want to create the buttons for the form. Okay. So let's create each one of them and let's see. Now first button is I'm going to create here. So now if you see to place a button here, you have to just click on here. Then if you come to this toolbox, here you have button, split button, flyout, menu section, group, right? So let's explore button one by one. So whenever you click on this one, what is happening? You have to do drag and drop. So I just added my button. Okay. So this is will the default command generated. What is the label you want to keep that for button? So like hyperlink layer external anything. You can give any name. And here you want to have tooltip. What do you want to mean? So whenever you want to hover on it, what do you want to show? The title and description. Like I'm saying hyperlink. Here I'm showing hyperlink for external site. You can give anything. This is this one. So if you want to, but if you don't keep any image, it will be have default. If you want to keep images, you have to choose the images. So these are the available images already in the machine. If you want to keep anything new, you have to add it to the solution first. Then you have to use sequence 10 command core. These are the default numbers. You don't need to do anything. So now out if you see, here, I have given external site name. Then when you hover on it, you will get that hyperlink text, hyperlink for external site. Then for every button, we should have a command. Okay. If you see here, you have a command drop down, but it's not showing anything. So what does that mean? You're keeping one button means what should happen whenever you're clicking on that button. So that is the basic thing, right? So you are keeping some button means when you are clicking, when you are working on it, what should be the action? What should do? What it should do? Like that, it has to evaluate, right? So for every button, you should have a command. So right now you don't have any command. That's why it's not listing here. So if you see here, you have head actions command 0, right? So you will be creating commands from here. So this is the first command. So here, if you see, you have add action. So means whenever you click, what you want to do, you want to open some external website, then you will be using external URL action. Suppose if you want to execute some JavaScript function, JavaScript logic, you will be using this one. Okay. So for now, let me try this URL action. Okay. We have to give the full URL to make sure it works like this. So here you have pass parameters. These are like optional. So how do you want to open? You want to open a new window, modern dialog, model list dialog. So these are the options. So if you open a window, it will open in a new window. Suppose if you select a model dialog, it will appear different. We will see all this. I'm just choosing window here. So what I'm doing, I'm not passing any parameters, not window parameters. Window mode is window. I'm giving the external. Okay. So this is one button. So similarly, I will create one more button on the form. I'm not creating button on the subgrid because we never added country entity as a subgrid in any other entity, right? So we will do that and we will come here. So meanwhile, I will just add one more button here in the form, like I can give the same label because in the backend, it will be having a different ID. So you can have a same name, external site as well. External. Okay. So tooltip, I will give hyperlink same as everything. It won't cause any problem. Hyperlink for images. I'm choosing the default one as is. Okay. Now for this also I have to create a command, right? So if you want to use same command for two buttons, you can use this. So that is the flexibility you have. So both will work. So here what you are doing in the first one, you are using the same command. For the second button also, if you want to have same command, you can use that. But I want to explore the what is mean by the Windows type, right? So I will be creating different window mode here, model list, model dialog. I'm just copying this, putting. So you can rename this to make it command for form, command for home, like that. You can modify it. It won't cause any issue. Okay. Now here I'm just adding command for home. So home means from this view, Form means whenever you print. Okay. So what I did, I just created two buttons, plain buttons, adding the commands for each of them, and I'm using the URL command action. So whenever we click on that button, it will open this URL, the external site. Okay. So once you did the changes, you have to do publish. So input is progress, it's working. So right now, if you see on the farm or homepage, you don't have any button. These are all out of the box. So once this publish done, you have to do a refresh. You will get the custom buttons, whatever you created. Let it complete 100%. So it's publishing. So once it is done, what I will do a hard refresh. So for that purpose, I am opening developer tools, more tools, developer tools. I will just click on hard refresh here, empty cache, hard reload. Do you see new button yet? Is it appearing? Not yet. So do you open the record? Do you see new button yet? It's not yet because it's running. So once you've done the publishing only, you can see it. So let's wait for some more time. It is done, right? So you are getting some warnings. You have to lose that empty label for alt. These are the asking. Command is not set on button. For which one it is not set, we have to see. This one we have set it. Command for home. This one we will set it on. Okay. The other one. This is for form. So you have to choose command for form. Okay. I'm doing one more publish. Meanwhile, I will just do a hard refresh here. At least it should work for one place. Do you see a new button? No. If you click on this three dots also, you're not seeing anything new. Let me reload. So this is a problem with the JS. The changes won't be reflect immediately. You have to do multiple refreshes. That's why now everyone is moving to TypeScript. So TypeScript also will be used for farm scripting only, but that will be more flexible You can just update the web resource in one place, it will reflect everywhere. So that's the advantage we have. I'm just doing country load. So to troubleshoot, what can I do? I will use this ribbon debug true. So basically ribbon debug true, if you want to see what are the buttons available for this form, what is there, what are the commands it's for their button to see it. Debug means we are doing the cross-checking, right? So similarly, we can do it for these buttons as well. So whenever you do this one debug true, you will add a one command checker. So here it will have the all info. Save and close, new hit and summarize hit and activate. Like this, we are seeing all buttons, okay? But it's not, our button is not yet reflected. What is our button? Export, right? External site. That button is not appearing. It means the changes are not published yet. So what I will do after this solution completion, I will do my publish. I will do my solution also publishing. Okay, let it complete. So you can't publish two solutions at a time. If you do that, you will get an error. So we have to wait. Let it complete. Okay, it's done now. I am doing this publish all customization from the classic editor. This is the classic design. Okay. Now I will do a hard refresh now. Let's see whether it will work now or not. See, you have external site, but in the form level, it's not appearing yet. Now also it's appearing. So if you see, this is the label I have given for the button. When you hover on it, it is coming hyperlink for external site. So that is nothing but a tooltip and tool description. So what will happen whenever I click on here, it is opening a new window. Okay. So when you do it the same from here, we need to observe what is happening. So this is also opening a external tab. Okay. The difference between this and this is like, so if you see, so as it is a external site, it is opening in a new tab. But in general, if you have any HTML or anything, you will be opening within a kind of a pop-up here in the same tab. So that is the difference I want to show. But with this external site, it is not working. Okay. So if you open this record, if you click on it, it is open a new page, new tab here. So like that, we will be using the URL action. Okay. Now let's go to again here. So let me create one more button. So you can try this split and flyout menus, group everything. We just never use that often this button. We will just focus on this button only. So if you go here, if you click on button, if you drop here, you can get one more button. So if you want to name it right, you can change the name anything. So I'm keeping ID as it is, but the label I'm gonna change it. So let's assume like update states. So what I want to do is let's assume I will create a new button. So whenever I click on this update state button, whatever the states I have it for this country, everything should be done inactive like that if you want. So we suppose we have Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, everything under India, right? Suppose if you want to make it hide, you can do that activity. Okay. So for that purpose, what I need to do, update all states inactive, or you can delete also whatever you want. So tooltip deactivate. Okay. So the image you can use whatever you want from existing. Usually business will give the what is the image they need. Okay, for modern image also I will try to check something. Okay, now we got the button. Now what I need to do, I have to create a command, right? So let's go to solution elements, create a new command. So for every button you should have a command, otherwise it won't appear in the now. So earlier what I want to do, earlier I was using URL action, now I'm using the JavaScript. So here you need to choose the JavaScript. What is the JavaScript you are going to use? Okay. So do we have JavaScript for country table? Let's search it. If not, we will create it. We didn't. We were working on the state only, latest only, so we don't have any library for it. So let's create a library here. We can't create it from here, so you have to create it from the solution only. So go back to your day before solution yesterday section JS debugging. I'm just creating a new form library, or you can use the existing whatever is fine. But for the country, I want to make it separate to avoid confusion. So I'm creating a new web resource. So type is JS. Here I'm using country ribbon JS. So same name I'm giving in the display. Or you can modify it for more readable. Language none. Here you want to keep code, right? So what is my expectation? Whenever I click on that button, I want to deactivate all states, right? So for this, I will be using this ChatGPT. So countries and states, do you have any relationship between? Do we have? Did we create any relationship between these two entities? Let me see.
Yes, it.
We have lookup, right?
Yes, we have.
Hmm. So on the countries, okay, country and state to custom entities or to custom entities with schema names. You have to give the schema names. Custom entities, the schema names. I will give the schema names. Then state has the lookup of country. I'm going to add a ribbon functionality, ribbon button functionality on country form. So whenever I click on ribbon button, button on country, it has to deactivate the all states related to that particular country. So whatever I was saying in the oral, I'm just repeating it. So you have to give the schema names to work it more effectively. So I will open this. How to get the schema name? You can open this level up tool. You can open this weapon record in WebDPI. You will get the plural name here. You can just pass it. Okay. Straight. You can pass it. Similarly, I have for the country also. I have to get it. Or you can simply from the URL also you can copy it. You don't need to do that much. From here also you will get that schema name of the entity and GID for everything. Country respectively. State has a lookup on state has a lookup of country on state form. You don't need to mention on form. I'm going to add ribbon button functionality for so share give me the JS code snippet to add it in the ribbon button. Click command. So country label is so state label is in a country lookup field name. So state records are usual standard active fields out of the box field state code status code. Deactivate related states. So here it is giving the JS primary control everything country record not found no related. So something we have it is only given code. It using return multiple records passing the country JID everything. So update record so something they have given. Okay. So new country ribbon JS, let's assume. So we have to pass primary control because we need to know the GID of the state, right? Country, right? To pass it. So we have to pass the parameter as well. Okay. Now I will copy this code, put it in my new library. So here I have put it deactivate primary states. So now if we see earlier we used to pass execution context and we used to get the form context. For the ribbon buttons, you are passing the form control, you are getting the form context. That is the difference you have to. Okay. Now I'm just publishing this. Let me go back to ribbon. Here, what is the library I have to choose now? Country ribbon, right? Country ribbon JS. So what is the function name you have to give? This is the function name. Now here you have add parameters. What do you want to pass? Okay. So in general, if you want to pass any normal string value, anything, you will be using string parameter, integer parameter, like a function variables. But if you want to, as we have a dependency with the current record, so we have to pass this form context. So here you will be passing the CRM. Okay, so here we have these many options we have. So we will be passing primary controls. So primary controls means you will be passing the current form context. So that's why in the code, what you are doing here, you are using the primary control as a form context. Whatever you are passing to this function, you are using that as a form context. Okay. You have some other option also. You can use selected control. Means suppose if you are working for a multiple home page, you will having a record, right? So you have to see all those. Okay. Right now we will be trying with primary control. So what I did, I just added the command. Then I have to link it with my button, right? So go here, add the button. So this is my button. So let's do a publish. So you have added in the home page. So what should I do? I want this button on the form typically. So I'm just drag and drop. So like this, you can move the same button across. If you want to create You want to right click on it and you can create it. If you want to create a copy, you can do like this. You can use these options. So you need to click on the button and you have to do the right click or to get all those options. Okay. So I'm done with the changes. I'm just publishing it now. So this will take some time. I'm just doing publishing. It done. Let me try to refresh. I won't get, but let me try. I didn't get the external site, the new one. Let it complete. Not at refresh. So this is the problem. So it will take some time actually. We have to bear it whenever you're working with this ribbon. So once it is done, what I will do is publish all customization as well. But let it complete. Done. Now if I do publish all customization, that will take some time. Then I will do a refresh. Cache hot reload. Let me try now. The country only, right? Let's go to India. Update states to inactive. So deactivation. So I was using some random existing symbols, right? So that's why you are getting these images. But if you want more specific to your action, you can download the images, you can edit it. So what will happen? Right now I have 4 states. Update states inactive. So I'm just clicking this button. So whenever I click on this button, in the backend it will trigger the code whatever I have linked for this button. It will execute. So let me do it. Deactivating related 4 records deleted successfully. Like this, I'm showing the dialog also. If you see the code, so after retrieving, you're retrieving the whatever the state, then you're getting for each update data, promising push. Then at the end, what you're doing, open another dialog, state records, result entities count plus state records successfully. So if you see here, 4 records plus state records successfully. If you go to states, earlier we used to have 4 active states. Now they are inactive. So like that, you will be doing some action, some JavaScript action. You can work on other entity updation, or you can work on the same entity updation with these buttons with the JavaScript actions. Okay. If you go further, here we have for every button, what are the options you could see? You could see, if you see for every button, if you click on the command, you could see display rule, you could see enable rules, right? So these are also important. So when do you want to display the button? When do you want to make it enable? So display means it will completely control like show or hide. Okay. Enable rules means it will available for doing action like that. Okay. So let's see the display rule first. So for the display rule one, what I will use, so I will create one more button. So update states inactive, similar button. I will copy the name. Okay, tooltip you can use whatever you want. This is image also, you can use whatever you want. Okay. So whatever you are choosing in the model image, they are coming because we are in the model driven app. These are the ME1632 or the legacy images. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to available this button whenever only one record is selected in this country. Suppose this external site is available for all the time. If you select the entire records, it is available. If you select single record, it is available, right? So what I want to do, I want to control this button whenever I want to select only single record, whenever I want to select. So for that purpose, what I will do, I will have a condition display rule. I will create a new command for this one, and I will add action, same action, JavaScript action, country.js, function name. I will be using the same. So I will pass this only. What is the parameter you have to pass? Primary control, right? Done. Then in the display rules, what I will do, when do you want to display that, you have to give condition. So here if you see, you have these many conditions are available. Client rule, everything, value rule, whenever value is matching like that. Okay. Now do you have record count here? Entity privilege rule. Entity privilege means if you have the privilege, then only it will appear. Form entity context rule, form state rule, form type rule, option set rule. So whenever the value is matching, then only it will appear like that. Okay. Page rule. So what we will be using? Value rule. So here what I need to do actually, I will create a enable rule first, then we will go to display rule. So you can just click on this delete, remove from command, go to enable rule. So basically in the enable rule, we'll have the option actually, value record selection count rule. So it will appear whenever it is showing minimum 1, maximum 1. So select default true. Invert roots will be false. So basically what I'm saying, this button will be enabled whenever the selected record. So in the subgrid, you will have multiple record, right? So whenever selected is one, like that. Okay. One record in the row, in the subgrid column, subgrid list. So I'm just added this. Now what I need to do, command 3 has ribbon, command 3 has enable rule. I have to add this command to the button, right? Go back to button, add it, command 3. You can rename it, make more readable, the public command names. That's not a problem. So what will happen now? Whenever you choose one record, then it will appear one more. But my question here is for the external site, we haven't applied any conditions. Still, it is not available whenever you're clicking on whenever you are clicking on a record. Why? Any cases? So I'm assuming that is because of URL action. Let's check from command checker what it will say. What are the conditions it is saying? External site hidden by selection. So command properties. This command is hidden because there are no one or more items selected, and this command is not a item level command. Item level commands have a selection count rule. See if you see, right now we have selected used selection count rule, right? So as we don't have anything, commands have a selection. As we don't have any selection count rule for this external site, that is why it's not appearing. So it is like a very generic. So to have a command available for particular record or anything, you have to choose a selection count. Okay, this command is not a item level command because this is a URL. Okay, if you want more info, you can put this in ChatGPT. Ask like I'm trying to use URL action button on home page, entity home page, but not appearing whenever I select a record. Not appearing whenever record selected. So if you say, so it will give some insight. Usual occurs in one within button. Solution one, add a selection. If your button should appear and then record selected in the get open it. So we are asking like that home grid button for a selected record. So like that they are also suggesting to most common fixes and simply add in selection control one. So but we don't want to do right. So we just trying to use for normal common generic, right? So this URL is not particular to any record entity. So there is no meaning adding the selection counter in passing. So you can have it in normal only. Okay. Now for the next scenario enable rules, we just added that enable rule and publish we selected the selection control, right? So whenever I selected record only that will appear. Otherwise it will be hidden like that. Okay. Now it is done. I will do refresh. It's not appearing yet. Let me publish the solution. I'm done. I'm just doing a refresh now. Now, see, whenever I'm selecting single record, it is showing inactive. If I unselect it, it won't appear because I have a condition. So what is my condition? For this button, I'm just using this command, right? So in this command, what I'm mentioning, I am doing this, but whenever in this enable rule, what I'm doing, whenever I am applying minimum one, maximum one. So whenever a record is selected, that should that is available. So like that you can control. So do you want to do it for bulk records, all records? Do you want to do whenever a button is working for single thing? And you will have a custom option what you want to do everything. Okay. Any questions? So similarly, we will be having n number of rules, n number of conditions here, selection count rule, value rules. If you choose value rule, you have to choose the field. What is the field you want to compare that value? Like that, everything you have to try and explore. Entity, what do you mean by entity rule? What do you mean by custom rule? So custom rule means if you want to have it, you will use the function name. So similarly for the display rules also, you will be having n option value rules, all these. Okay. So mostly interviews, they will ask what is the difference between enable rules and display rules. What you can do with enable rules, what you can do with display rules, like that. Okay. So the one advantage with enable rules is like you can have the custom rule. Custom rules means you can use another function to evaluate your logic to true or false. Based upon that, it will show. So whereas display rule, it will use the pre-existing conditions only. It doesn't have any custom rules. If you see, all are like entity privilege rules. Suppose what is the rule you have? Entity rule, form set rule. Everything is like a predefined one. You don't have any custom logic. You can't add like custom logic in the display rules. Whereas when the enable rules, you can add your custom logic. You can pass that function name. Whatever the function gives output, it will work based upon that. Okay. So I just explored very basic things, whatever we need for ribbon workbench here. So I will do one more class on the modern. We will have a modern designer for this ribbon workbench. Without using this ribbon workbench also, we will have a modern command designer. So if you see, whenever you see from here in the apps, so if you click on this app, here you can see that modern app designer. That is also serves the same functionality, whatever you are doing in the ribbon workbench. Ribbon workbench is a external tool you are using it for, right? So if you use this edit command bar, so it will you can create buttons, you can do everything within the CRM maker portal. Okay, here also you can create button. So I will have one more session for this modern command checker, and you can refer that one. So but as everyone is using, must be using ribbon, I just cover this. So this is like something new. Slowly people are adopting it without using ribbon workbench also. We can have the setup button setup within the power portal. Okay. So this also you have to learn. This will be helpful. Okay. Chalo then.
Okay.
Mm.